Next, like I said, the exam itself has been evolving from a memory based exam to analytical based exam. Now do not get me wrong, when I am speaking about memory based exam, I do not intend to mean that there are no questions asked on memory. That is not what I am telling. There will be questions which are asked based on memory, which we need to memorize. Like in 2025 there was dancing girl statue. What was it made of? It was made of bronze. This is a completely memory thing. There is nothing to understand or nothing to analyze in this, but the extent or the number of questions that are memory dominated are getting lesser, and the analytical questions have got more in the recent 4-5 years. Another thing, like I said, if you have seen 2016 or 2017, there were so many questions with just two statements, where the first statement was a memory based fact and the second statement was a generic statement. So these sort of questions were asked in the year 16 and 17, but in the year 2023, 2025, we see that there are so many of the analytical questions that have asked. So the UPSC prelims game itself has made a transition. And one more thing, which, like I said, if it is a memory based exam, then more hard work will give you more returns, because out of the 100 questions that UPSC will ask, there would be 60 or 70 questions which you would have covered. But when it is analytical exam, though you have studied so much of content, the number of questions based on the content that you have studied itself is very less, say 35 to 40. So for the other questions, it will test your skills. So this is what differentiates a memory based exam and an analytical exam. In a memory based exam, the more you do hard work, the more returns it will give, because you have already gone through the content that will actually be asked in UPSC exam. But in analytical exam, it will be a new question, it will be a novel question, it will test you on the spot. You will not be aware of it before, so it will test you on the spot to see your smartness, to see if you are able to link your basics with the concept. So it is because of this analytical exam orientation that even people with less effort are clearing the exam. If the people with less effort were writing a memory based exam, then they would have very less scope, because they would have not seen the question. They would have still tried to make smart guesswork, but the people who have already done hard work, they are very sure about those questions. So there the people who did smart work couldn't have got higher rewards. But here they are, and the UPSC is trying to do these sort of things, because now the society itself has been evolving. We do not encourage or we do not try to promote memory, rather we try to promote skills, analytical skills, critical thinking, brainstorming, because in the era of internet and AI, memory is available everywhere, information is available anywhere, but it is the analytical skill which will differentiate the humans from the technology, because the critical thinking which the human can do, no others can do. So in today's time, knowledge is easy, but the critical thinking and the brainstorming isn't. So this is just to portray whatever I have said. Initially, I think this is 2017 paper, local self-government is best explained. It is very easy. It is not direct democracy, not administrative delegation. Among these two, it is the decentralization that is more favoring. But when we see, I think this is 2022 paper, when we see that the level of difficulty has increased, because if we have studied this in polity, we know that about the 1919 Act, all we know is that the subjects were divided for the provincial governments, that there were reserved subjects and there were transferred subjects. But what are the subjects that come under reserved subject? What are the subjects that come under transfer subject? We have not studied it. So UPSC is asking you to think on spot to answer these questions. This is how the exam evolution has happened. When you have studied local self-government, you would have heard that it is a mechanism for decentralization. So this becomes a memory thing, whereas this is not covered in the routine books or even in the test series. So this was an analytical question.